Alright my dear friends, so today we have some pretty major Star Wars news tidbits, including how Lucasfilm just released merch for a show that doesn't even have a trailer yet. Yes, I'm serious. But first, I want to talk a little bit about a big problem with Star Wars gaming. Star Wars Outlaws is coming soon, and it's already being received pretty poorly. There are some mixed reviews based on various clips of gameplay, from the outlandish price tag, to the unfavourable Ubisoft pricing model, to the bland characters, to the gameplay that feels like a soulless cash grab, as one fan elegantly put it, and, not to mention, how the gameplay was extremely boring and didn't showcase anything too exciting.
A few minutes later.
We're already seeing fans cancel their pre-orders. I also just don't feel like fans are vibing with K-Vess as a character. And this spurred some interesting discourse about what Star Wars gaming needs, and there is one take which I think summarizes it the best. To put it simply, Lucasfilm seems very unwilling in recent years to do crossovers between the Disney Plus content and the games. Despite rumors, we still haven't had a Mandalorian video game, which to me seems like a no-brainer. You attract viewers to the Disney Plus content, and the Disney Plus viewers will want to play the video game and explore the galaxy as Din Djarin. And this would have made a lot of sense going into the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Cross-media marketing. It's also why I think Cal Kestis should make his way into a live-action show or movie. But for gaming, Lucasfilm is far more interested in pursuing new storylines and original characters. Even if, from time to time, a familiar face or big cameo does show up. But generally in terms of tie-in games to the Disney Plus shows. One suggestion which I really love is Sabine Wren. Now that she's got a lightsaber, as a Mandalorian Jedi, I don't think Disney and Lucasfilm realize the potential they have here. A very fun video game character who originated in Star Wars Rebels, now appears in Ahsoka, a tie-in game exploring Sabine with a lightsaber, a jetpack, and a blaster would sell itself. And I would be willing to bet so many more fans would be interested in playing a Sabine Wren-oriented game than one based around K-Vess. The same deal with Boba Fett. He appeared in Jedi Survivor, but he deserves maybe a Book of Boba Fett video game spin-off. And speaking of the Fetts, we do have a remaster of a classic game, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and we just received a new remastered trailer for it. Jango Fett has been hired by Count Dooku to eliminate the head of a fearsome crime syndicate, and along the way, he has to contend with an old enemy seeking the same bounty. By the game's end, Jango's appearance in Attack of the Clones has been set up. It is some of the best Fett content that's ever been created. I remember having hours of fun with it back in the day, and now it's been remastered. But now that Disney has gone in the direction of making Sabine Force sensitive and a Jedi, why not capitalize on that before the release of Ahsoka's second season? One of the biggest problems Lucasfilm Games has is their reluctance to make tie-ins to the Disney Plus shows, because they don't want to step on the toes of future seasons and the stories which Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni might develop. Although, they could just get them to collaborate on the creative direction of the games. But now my dear friends, on to some big Star Wars news tidbits. What in the world is going on with Star Wars Skeleton Crew, the upcoming live-action show set to debut sometime later this year? Nothing was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, we still don't have an official trailer that's been released to the public, and yet, Star Wars fans have started to notice the Skeleton Crew Lego set, the Onyx Cinder, is already hitting shelves. Set for public release in 2 days' time on August 1st. So let me get this straight. Star Wars has released merch for a show that hasn't had an update in 2 years, that to the vast majority of fans doesn't even exist. Now, there is a positive side to this. It's expected at D23, which is only in a week's time, Lucasfilm is going to address and announce their slate of upcoming content, which should include Skeleton Crew for the end of 2024. Not to mention Andor Season 2 sometime early 2025, and maybe an update on Jon Favreau's Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But the Lego set, the Onyx Cinder, has been popping up in stores across the US, and an Amazon listing suggests it's going to launch worldwide on August 1st. We have our first proper look at Jude Law and the other characters in their minifigure form, but Lego has yet to make a formal announcement. All eyes were on San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend for some sort of update, but there was nothing. Only comic books, action figures, and novels. Most of the focus was on the Acolyte and its supporting characters, but even that show doesn't have a Lego set. So in the next week or two, Star Wars fans will be walking into supermarkets and toy shops, and they're going to be seeing a set for a show that doesn't exist on Disney+. While many will be aware of the fact there is a show called Skeleton Crew and it's in the pipeline, your average casual toy fan might be a bit confused. They might see this set and think, well, where is this from? We have no context. It's also worth remembering this set was originally rumoured to release back in January, but they kept pushing it back, and so it seems the LEGO group took it upon themselves to just release it alongside the other sets coming in a couple of days. Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridia, Jedi Bob's Starfighter, the Dark Falcon, Creative Play Droid Builder TIE Fighter and X-Wing mashup, the Imperial Star Destroyer, Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit from Return of the Jedi, and C-3PO, but still no announcement for Skeleton Crew. That being said, it might be a very short-term thing this set is on shelves with no context, because the increasing sentiment is that on August 9th, during Disney D23, there will be some kind of announcement and public teaser. But as you guys know, my biggest hope for the future of this franchise is Andor Season 2, and yesterday we got a massive announcement. There is going to be a tie-in book that takes place, surprise surprise, during the Dark Times, a time period Lucasfilm loves, between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and it focuses on the rise of the Rebel Alliance. And this could be our first canon adaptation of the Revenge of the Sith Delegation of the 2000 deleted scenes. And it's not just going to be a one-off. It's going to be a trilogy. A set of Star Wars novels has been announced that promises to delve deeper than ever before into the formation of the rebellion. The main characters it focuses on are Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera, and Bail Organa. These novels, collectively titled Reign of the Empire, will detail the fight against the Empire from the perspective of some familiar faces. In literary terms, this is the closest we're getting to a tie-in to the Andor show. And the logline says this: and also coming later this year, my dear friends, in just a month and a half's time, is another LEGO holiday special, Rebuild the Galaxy. We've spoken about this because they're giving us Darth Jar Jar for the first time, but we also see the return of Jedi Bob, a character who's existed for over 20 years, who first appeared in a LEGO set back in 2002 as a non-specific Jedi, non-canon character in the LEGO set Republic Gunship for Attack of the Clones. He was first identified as Jedi Bob in the 2009 LEGO reference book, and now he's back. But one of the new shorts, advertising this upcoming special, has Rey versus Darth Vader, but not in their usual forms. Darth Vader is all in white, it's almost like his Star Wars Infinities look, and he's the good guy, whereas Rey is Darkside Rey, from the vision she had in The Rise of Skywalker. I've always said that's the best version, and I'm very surprised, even though this movie is not canon, they framed Rey in this fashion. And the whole Rey versus Vader thing has been a meme in the fandom for many years. This idea that Vader could absolutely take her out in a jiffy if he wanted to. But what about Rey as Empress Palpatine? How powerful would she be? Probably still not enough to beat Vader, but I guess we'll see what Rebuild the Galaxy gives us. But with that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on all of today's news in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you had fun. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, we're really trying to build this community, and if you enjoy what I do, daily videos, please consider helping me out. Check out our Patreon, the link is in the description. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you, always.